Everything starts with the story about my mom. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Oh, I can't remember. A lot of it was a very long time ago. I was a very young boy. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old when my mother was diagnosed. And then she passed away when I was 15 from breast and ovarian cancer. At the time, it was very much a struggle. She was a single mother, 3 children, myself, my older sister, my younger sister, trying to put us through Catholic school, trying to make sure that we had a good upbringing and a proper education. My father and she had divorced prior to her being diagnosed with breast and ovarian cancer, so we as children had just dealt with their divorce and then got blindsided by this, which I sit there and say that was an issue for me. I can only imagine what the issue was like for my mother. I'm probably the one sibling of my 3 siblings that is now able to actually talk about it. My sisters, I think, find it very hard to talk about it, which is ironic, given the fact that in the past 2.5 years, both of them have been diagnosed with breast cancer. My younger sister, who's 3 years younger than me, stage 3, triple negative, and my older sister, stage 2, and both tested positive for the ovarian gene. So it's something that runs in my family, obviously, genetically. It's something that is extremely personal to me, and I have absolutely no problem standing up and talking about it and telling my story and sharing whatever I can share, whether it be, lending my face and my voice, or talking about my personal story, or talking about how it is that our family deals with it from an emotional perspective, a financial perspective, or whatever. If that information is going to help another family or another person. A lot of people know me for this tiny little TV show that I do. But really for me, in the past years, having worked with other organizations like the cancer community and Komen and places like this, where I've lent my voice and my image and all that stuff, it's been very refreshing for me, not so much when people recognize me for the work that I do on television, but the work that I've done with regards to breast cancer. I remember I went to go talk to my high school, my old high school in San Antonio a few years back, and afterwards all the kids got up and wanted to say thank you, and one little girl got up and came to me and was like, I just lost my mom 2 weeks ago to breast cancer, and I think the work that you've been doing with Komen and these other organizations is really amazing, and I wish you would continue. And that was very special for me. So and now I have a daughter, and given the genetic disposition that my family has, I worry about that for my future. So that's another reason why I've been doing what I've been asked to do. If you know that there is a history, in the family, whether it's in your wife's family or in your family for your sisters or whoever, and there has been a history of breast cancer, it's kind of a no-brainer. I have 2 children, and I make sure they get to the doctor all the time, but it's not just, a lot of times your wife or someone who, if it's your sister and she's a mother and she's busy, they're not going to take the time sometimes to think about themselves, because they're constantly thinking about the family, they're thinking about the children, they're thinking about, got dinner or getting people to sports games or stuff like that, and sometimes you have to kind of ask the question, like, hey, have you gone and done this? Maybe when's the last time you went and had this done? Because this person in your family has been diagnosed with breast cancer. Ask the question, and they should be asking the same question of you with regards to your health, and making sure that everyone is alive and happy and healthy, especially if there are kids in the family, so that everyone's there. It wasn't very fun for me to lose my mother at 15. I think the biggest thing is trying to do things before they pile up, or trying to do things before you're asked to do things. And I mean, not just in caregiving, but like just in life in general. It's like, you know, like I know my wife sometimes gets inundated with our kids, and so it's like, you know, me stepping up and saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get them ready for their bath, and without having her have to tell me, you know. And as men, a lot of times we're not that bright, you know, and sometimes the wife needs to take a sledgehammer to your head to get you to do what you need to do. And so maybe sometimes it'd be nice if you did it without her having to take that sledgehammer.